What's going on, America? This is Kevin in Kevin's Corner. And I guess over the weekend, the funky, crooked, nasty, dirty liberal media decided to go on their daily hunt for the wily and elusive racism. Every day they wake up like Jacques Cousteau, going out and hunting for the wily and elusive racism. They're out there like the crocodile hunter, talking about, okay, there's some racism right over there. I'm going to go in for a little closer look. I might want to be careful because it's an angry little bugger. Yeah, they're out there looking every day for racism. Well, apparently, their search took them to Washington, D.C., where they hoped to find a plethora of white nationalists out there marching, and perhaps, just perhaps, some anti-white nationalist protesters might clash with them and start some ruckus that they can catch on film, and then further say, this is all because of... Is that a helicopter? FBI, CIA, NS... All right then, I'm back. Okay, they wasn't coming for me, so I'm cool. Anyway, so nonetheless, so apparently they was, out there, hopefully they can catch some stuff and then further, point towards the Trump administration. This is a result of Donald Trump's rhetoric and all of his hatefulness. And you can see there's a lot of disgruntled protesters out here. And I'm out here fearing for my life. I may not make it back because of all the racism and white nationalism, but if I don't, I'm not doing this report for me or even for the station. It's for the American people. Yeah, they wanted to get their, 15 minutes of grandstanding so they could sling some more mud on the president. Now, apparently, out of all of the millions of white nationalists they claim exist that voted for Donald Trump, let's see, we got 62 million people that voted for the president, but somehow, even though they claim most of those people are all white nationalists, only 25 of them showed up in Washington. Could it be that the rest of the 62 million were just laying low, huh? Or could it be that the rise of white nationalism isn't what they're saying it is? Could it be that the membership have just dropped drastically since 2018 arrived? Everybody now knows that white nationalism is stupid and racism is ignorant. I think we've come quite far as a nation. But according to the left, no, we're regressing. According to them, we're going backwards. So then that would mean that this is everybody's big opportunity that's been looking to flush out all of the black and Latino and non-white Anglo-Saxon Americans out of America now that they got their white nationalist president in office, Donald Trump. And he's making it easy for people like them to come out and vocalize how they feel about all of this inclusion that's going on in America. They can all come out and say it because they're protected by basically Hitler reincarnated. But for some reason, they all decided to stay home and look at it on TV and laugh at these people who came out and marched and said, look at those idiots out there marching. This is ridiculous. Do they know it's 2018 and they're out here marching like it's 1920 or something like that? They look stupid. And I'm not talking about just black people, Latino and all of that. A lot of white people looking at that and saying that's stupid. But no. See, CNN, MSNBC, some of the liberal stations, they want you to think that this is still on the rise. This is right in the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is dominating the thoughts of most white Americans, and yet only 25 of them mustered up the strength, set aside their day to come out and march for white nationalism. So that must say something about, number one, the condition of the United States and the narrative that all of the Trump supporters are white nationalists, because if that's the case, they had a horrible showing. That's like you sending out, invitations to 5,000 of your friends and only 5 of them show up. You like, man, I must not have that many friends. So apparently the white nationalists who sending out all of their rhetoric to, hey, you guys, I want you to come out and support our cause. They didn't come. And so now it's like the media didn't even want to cover that. They're like, oh, shoot, well, there's nothing to see here. Let's get out of here. We were hoping for a riot. But what really gets me is that Antifa showed up in full effect. And nobody got upset at the fact that they were yelling at the police, throwing stuff at the police. I think this was that other part of the bad people that President Trump was talking about last year in Charlottesville. You know, you got the small percentage of knuckleheads, but then you also have Antifa showing up ready for action. And because there wasn't enough white nationalists to combat with, I guess they decided to just turn all of their anger on the cops who protects them, the cops who were out there minding their business. Yeah, so they're like, you know what, we got to get mad at somebody. But where's the condemnation for that? Where are all of the Democrats and the liberal media saying Antifa is a violent protest group and they need to be silenced and shut down? Or are they just a peaceful protest group who's fighting against all of the millions and millions of white nationalists? Out of 64 million Trump supporters, we were only able to conjure up 25 of them to come out and support your cause. And you know what kills me is Sammy, Caesar, get over here. I got my dog of color and my white dog of privilege, and they're getting into trouble. Anyway, what kills me is 14% of black people in America. That means the rest of America had to have voted in President Trump. We don't have enough people to, yeah, they had to vote in President Trump. But not to mention, with President Obama, you got 14% black people. That's not enough to vote President Obama in. That means that a large portion of Americans, white Americans, had to have voted President Obama in twice. Okay? But yet, for some reason, if you listen to the media, that most of America, all of these millions, are white nationalists, and they all voted in Trump because it's the chance to express their hatred towards blacks, Mexicans, and others. So you see then, the narrative is horrible. And if the media would stop feeding it, maybe it would die down. If the media would stop going on a everyday hunt for racism, maybe people would say, you know what? Things aren't that bad. Unless I'm confronted with some stupid person who's, and I'm talking black, white, or other, that are expressing racism, I'm not going to walk around like racism is everywhere and I got to watch my step like it's poop all over the place. You know how it is when you come out and you know some poop in the yard. You're tiptoeing. You're like, I don't want to, because you can't get dog poop off your shoes. I'm telling you, I know for personal experience. Sammy and Caesar done got me a couple times. So the point that I'm trying to make is, you would think that racism was everywhere, and everywhere I step, I'm stepping in something. And that's not the truth. So their narrative went right out the window because all of the so-called white nationalists, they didn't even come out to support their cause, 25 of them. It's a dying organization. If you don't know it, now you do. You've been listening to Kevin at Kevin's Corner. God bless you. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, and check me out Wednesday nights, 7:30. And also, if you want to support Kevin at Kevin's Corner, there's links in the bottom to do so. God bless you. See you next time at Kevin's Corner.